pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the Marion County Commission to order February 27, 9 a.m. Administrative items.
Yeah.
Have to,
Did you want to approve the agenda?
oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Approve payday warrants.
All right, so we have sales tax in the amount of $109,626.87. Next in the packet, we have the list of encumbrances and chargebacks. We usually have to, at this time, approve any canceled encumbrances, but we don't have any, so we don't need to do that. Everything was used. And then there was the list of the encumbrance invoices. Okay, we have Western Associates in the amount of $624.86.
Move that we approve that $624.86.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes and 1 abstain.
There's Elcon Services in the amount of $2,722.31.
I move that we approve the invoices for $2,722.31 for Elcon Electric. All those in favor?
Aye. Abstain.
4-1.
Okay. The total amount of payday is $1,581,569.34. Yep. Stumbled over that. Anybody have questions?
Maybe just one comment, that page 2, that budgeted item for Marion advancement. Maybe make note, we talk about that in budget time.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to play football. Okay. So, but yeah, it's been fun at this job. I've been learning a lot. It's just, I'm going to go to college for a little bit and then figure out exactly what I want to do.
Anything else? I move that we approve the budget, is it
For payday?
payday, yeah, for $1,587,569.34.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
We're trying to have a meeting in there.
didn't see it.
Thank you. Right. Next, we have the minutes of February 23rd.
Any additions or corrections?
Mr. Chairman, I noticed that there was quite a discussion about drainage Monday, and it wasn't, I didn't see anything, maybe I missed it on it.
We didn't ask for public comments yet.
Well, I'm not public commenting, I'm objecting to the minutes. I can do that. And I'd like to add that to the minutes. I mean, I was part of it.
And what?
Discussion about the drainage up by my house.
Okay.
And comments, administrator's comments, Mike's comments.
I put in there that you guys did discuss the pictures.
Yeah.
That was it. Quite a discussion.
I did have a question on those pictures. There's only one tire track, so is that not a high traveled road?
It's a high traveled road.
How come there's only one track?
That was me and it just rained.
Yeah. Point taken.
So I did want to ask you all, mainly like on the public comments, these are your minutes, so how do you want me to do that? Do you want me to summarize? If I have the official copy, do you want me to put that full copy in there? I did ask other county clerks what they do, and there was 24 responses, and most of them just summarized the public comments.
We've addressed this since I've been on the commission at least 3 or 4 times. And we've always come back, and always the consensus has been to summarize.
Yeah, and some of them, Franklin County, Saline, and Ellis, they just say they write the name, the address of the person, a quick snippet, because they do record their meetings so people can go back to the meetings to view the comment or any type of discussion that's been had.
As ours is recorded too, and we got a public record, we go back and look for what was said.
I just try to summarize, and then any type of action taken is what is.
You don't take action on public comments.
No, but in the other part of the
Seeing
minutes as well.
the people in the room versus the ones that provided what they wanted, you know. So maybe the solution is if you want more detail in the minutes, that they provide a written statement that they, when they come up to speak, and then they have a written statement, and that can be turned over and then word for word.
I think what he's talking about is, I addressed him later.
Yep, in the admin portion where it says the board discussed the pictures in the packet showing standing water on 120th between Upland and Timber. I just put you guys had a discussion. I didn't put any further information. It's on the first page.
Come up with a final solution, so.
But you discussed it. And there were comments given.
So the part you had, Clark, is it?
It's under administration. The board discussed the pictures in the packet showing standing water on 120 between Upland and Timber or something.
I think what you've been doing is finding the record of people's comments.
So do you just want them summarized, or do you want, if I have a copy of the whole comment, to put that in there? And then I guess we need to know if you want me to put more in detail of conversations, which that's not.
If they take the time to type it out, I think it's
Did they give her a copy of it?
But summarize what I,
Most people are just talking from their hip, you know.
So,
I think if you do others, if you request a written copy, that you're kind of infringing on some people's rights, because they have a right to sit up there and say whatever they want without having to produce 18 copies.
no, I'm not saying that they have to produce to be in the minutes. I'm just saying if they want it verbatim, they need to provide a written.
And she does a good job of doing that.
thank you.
If they give you written comments, you always put them in.
I try to just always put them in there. And that's up to you guys, if you want them summarized or if you want it the way that it's been, the way that I've been doing it. That's up to you.
So
It's your minutes.
I like the way you've been
I'm gonna
doing
make a motion to approve the minutes because this is the way it's been and it works. And we have it recorded.
I'll second that.
it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So summarize unless somebody gives me a copy, then you want me to put that in there.
Just like you've been doing.
Alright. And that is all I have for you all. The only other thing that I have on the list for administrative business is the determination of the preference for moving forward with the bridge repair. We can table that till Monday if you'd like, unless you're ready to move forward today. I did send you some clarification.
I'm ready to move forward.
Yes, I think it's something that we need to get started on. Get done before summer.
Get it done before April.
Not much time.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you?
Make a motion is to approve that.
So, I mean, if there's consensus of the board to take action today, then I'm gonna give you this to read and approve. So that you've got the vendor and the amount.
We have a bid from Bridge Incorporated for $49,800. Includes the labor, material, equipment, all the repairs. Detailed prepared by Cook, Flat and Sobel. Quote's good for 30 days. You need to read all this? Or?
No.
Really want to see the quote again.
I'll make a
It's in
motion,
our packet.
make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
That's all I have, but I did have on the agenda, since this is, the next part is a work session, typically the regular meeting is adjourned and then the work session ensues. And any actions that come out of this would be taken at the next meeting, which is Monday.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Clerk,
Okay.
Good.
all those in favor?
Aye.
How are you? Okay. Shit, yeah.
Zero adjourned. Now we're going to the work session,
Oh, Doug asked me.
talk about favorite subject road and bridges.
Yeah. What you have in front of you, hopefully up on the board, is just a detailed map of what we're planning on doing this summer as far as the county, road and bridge department's planning on doing. You guys have seen this before, gave you an opportunity to discuss it at the time. And, we've already made plans as far as, getting material stockpiled and placed in areas. Like for instance, our chip seal chips, we have it located anywhere from, Durham State Lot to the Tampa Lot to the Ramona Lot. Wilson, we still got chips to be delivered there. South Shop. We're also getting gravel rebuilds. We've already received 4,000 tons of the gray rock to the South Shop. And we are planning on getting 4,000 tons of the gray rock delivered to the Lincolnville State Lot. That'll be for the two projects up north on 360th as well as south and east of Highway 77 on the 250th. And so we'll divide that material up there. We did do a different change this year as far as our gravel rebuilds goes. We were putting down 400 tons of the 2-inch base rock and then coming in and putting 300 tons of the surface rock, which is the 1.5-inch Waverly gray rock. We went ahead and switched the other two. So you're only getting 300 tons of the base rock and then 400 tons of the surface rock. We've noticed in a couple rebuilds in the past, it just didn't seem like we were getting good enough coverage with the surface rock, which is the gray rock. And so we're going to try to improve on that a little bit more. So we are doing something different this year. We went with a cheaper chip as far as our chip seal goes. Instead of using the clay Buildex material, which is a higher price rock, we went ahead and used the, it's a hard gray rock that's kind of like chips, and we're using that instead of the Buildex. The reason being is we're doing, instead of usually doing 35 miles a year on an average for our blacktop roads, we're doing 51 or 53 miles this year. So we wanted to go ahead and do something a little bit, a little less expensive as far as material goes. So.
Part of that's trying to catch up with what we didn't get done last year, am I correct?
Yes, yep. We are planning on starting a month and a half earlier this year as well, as far as blacktops goes. Hopefully the weather holds out for us and we're able to take care of our gravel roads first and then get on with our blacktops, so.
We're very honored to have Sam Harshman with us. If you had any concerns about how we are delivering rock, acquiring rock, transporting, I just thought maybe Sam was gracious enough to say he'd be willing to come in if there was any questions concerning, you know, our gravel operations and how we get stuff in.
You got all the road graders' phone numbers? That way when he goes and lays it down on the road for you, they can follow right up.
Well, we've been doing a pretty good job communicating. So, just want to let you know this Waverly rock coming out of Waverly. Sam's been working with a couple of trucking companies, and we've been. Their deliveries is a backhaul for them, so that's helping us keep the price down as well. So we just don't go out there and what I say, deadhead, yeah, then get the rock at a higher price. So he's been working with us the last 3 years, being consistent as far as supplying us rock and taking care of us very well. So. We have already put in an order for the base rock this year to have at the quarry for our road rebuilds. So they'll have that stockpiled and be ready for us to go when we get going. So.
Rains for 90 days here after the fog days. I'll need it.
So is rock, is a set price, I mean, is it going up or down this year? Or?
From 2025, it went up a little bit. Not a lot. I don't remember last year's pricing for rock or freight, but it did go up.
It was roughly 60 cents a ton.
Okay.
50 to 60 cents a ton based upon but it's still a good price.
Wages are going up, equipment goes up, make up for it somewhere.
And
This
I
is,
check with multiple trucking companies and get the best price. Deal about a backhaul is, there could be a time in the future where you guys are in the middle of a project and due to the backhaul, they'll only haul at that rate when they have something going both ways. If you guys are in a hurry and need it.
It becomes a deadhead.
Right.
That's why we try to jump on it ahead of time. Like I said, we've already got our 4,000 already established at the south shop, so we're ready to go on that, you know, so. And I noticed they've already started delivering up at the Lincolnville State Law.
Have they? Okay, good.
So they're getting going on that as well, so, yeah.
It's always been a lot of the salt trucks coming through with been our backhaul people sometimes, so. For what we did do in the past.
We do occasionally get contractors on a backhaul too. Like for instance, we had a gentleman stop by and he's delivering beans in Emporia, but then he contacted me and wanted to go ahead and get a backhaul back, and I made arrangements with him to go ahead and get that done. He's bringing the gray rock back from Waverly, and that is not the 8,000 tons that we ordered through Harshman as far as the contract stuff for rebuilds. That is for additional gray rock for placing on roads that are been rebuilt in the past, like for instance 290th, 90th, where it's starting to show its teeth a little bit, a little wear and tear, or we didn't get good enough coverage. It's additional gray rock that we're placing back on the rebuild roads. So we do that occasionally at times, kind of a little extra stockpile for us, other than the actual 8,000 tons that is scheduled for just the road rebuilds. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, any comments or anything, Matt, or anything?
Where we are on cost share on 290th, is that an ongoing process, try to get money on that? How long's it been now since we've gotten any of that 290th cost share?
I have nothing scheduled right now for grant or assistance.
Well, I mean, our plan is to redo that all the way through. I thought that was an ongoing process and we just keep reapplying for cost share.
Okay.
That was our intent.
Okay.
Am I right, Jonah?
Yeah, no, that was
Because people keep asking us and I keep saying, well, we're applying for cost share. If we aren't, I'm lying to them.
I think there's a few other issues that have popped up that kind of took some precedent, bridge closures and a few other.
Well, I know that, but this was a long-term, well, we were hoping it wasn't gonna be a real long-term, but it's turning into it.
you had applied for economic development on 290th, and it was declined, and I think twice. And so, I think cost share we had done on another,
We'd attempted Nighthawk with the cost share.
yeah.
But I mean, I think the intent of the commission is a continuing to try to get that cost share on there, so at least every 2 or 3 years, we can get another stretch of it done until we get all the way through it. If somebody else has a different opinion than me, I guess, say it.
Because we got the economic development to take you from 77 over to Remington, right?
Right.
And so, and the goal was to keep applying to try to get the rest of the stretch going west.
Yeah, because the federal money was too cumbersome for us to use. Because
we're
we're having
gonna
to
have to
obtain
buy
right away and
easements.
everything else.
keep trying to find money.
Plus, and there's still some issues there on that new stretch, right, Mike?
Yep.
I guess we had other things too come up, but I don't think it'd be appropriate to talk about it without having the engineer here, and that's the East Tampa Road as well as the Canada Road. He has presented you guys with the cost, estimated costs on rebuilding those stretches of road. I think that's something we probably need to address at a later time.
I think we move forward with the Canada GeoGrid, I thought.
That was the cost share that we applied for, that we were turned down from. And then you had come back saying, just get it done.
Yeah, that one, we were gonna front it on our own because
There's,
it's through 3/4 of a mile where it's
yeah, cost share's back
affordable.
up again. And so it was pretty much suggested that we try one more time on the cost share.
Okay.
And so that application is due March 28th, I believe. And so we'll have that in, and then they'll have an award notification somewhere in June or July, most likely.
They're gonna cut us short on getting it done if it gets denied.
The commission, as I understand it, said we're trying to find funds for assistance to build it. If we don't, we're still gonna do it. If that's my understanding,
That's
correct?
my understanding.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
does the commission want to do the cost share application on 290th instead of Nighthawk and just move forward with Nighthawk? Is that what I'm hearing you say for this year?
We can't apply for both of them.
the cost share is a maximum $1 million, I think. And so you're not gonna get real far on the 290th. You'll get a couple miles, maybe.
I think that's the top of the list because we're already 3 years, we wanna go into 3 years on that first stretch. We gotta get that thing done somehow. And yeah, I know that 3/4 mile stretch is junk, but it's got so many problems there with water.
Yeah, that's where the GeoGrid comes into play. That's how they build roads in the swamp.
So is the commission in general okay with Doug moving along with the cost share application for Nighthawk, or do you want to?
Well, yeah, your odds go down the more you apply, right? I mean,
Kind of depends. There is kind of a sympathy vote after the third or fourth try. I think we were awarded in 2020 for a Nighthawk rebuild. And so I think now we're getting enough years away from it that it doesn't hurt it as much. And we have applied a couple times, so I think it does strengthen that application. The 290th portion, I may be incorrect. There's a lot of stuff, but I think it's $1 million on the cost share.
Mhm.
And
so if you
I
get
think we were
awarded,
talking something like 12 million from K-15 to Remington. But I think it involves some land acquisition and we'd have to widen every single bridge. I mean, especially if we go on the Fed side.
Right. That was under the federal
Right.
part of it.
And so if you wanted to go with state funds and just maintain what we have, we could definitely use that as another choice, and we could just get with engineering and just try to get the maximum amount of road we can within the guideline of that cost share.
Well, I mean, I think in the end, someday we're gonna have to replace that bridge out there. But in the
There's
meantime,
like 4 bridges from K-15 to
the
Remington.
main one there is at,
you're off.
Pawnee. Well, and then the other one to the east. Those two would be high priority, but, you know, I don't know if blade patching's gonna hold that thing long enough or not.
The blade patches that we've done in the past, I believe it was 3 years ago, I'm gonna say 90% of the patches have held up. Some of them we'll have to redo, but it's a pretty sound road. I do see some separation between the existing surface asphalt that was applied with about a 1 inch to 1.5 inch lift. It's starting to slide from the surface that was there before. So we see a little bit of sliding going on there, but if we were able to cap that off, I think we can control that a lot better. I mean, it's still a pretty sound road. You don't see very many swags in it as far as base work
Well,
problems.
that's what we hear the most about,
Yeah.
because, you know, the heavy vehicles, we know the heavy vehicles are causing it, but, you know, you go through, even when you go out through there with your car, it wants to pull you a little bit.
Right.
And there's a lot of traffic on that road.
I wanna go back to the cost share. You say $1 million, so that's, if we apply for this and that, it caps out. If we get awarded for 3 projects, it's just $1 million, right? So the more we take on, the more we gotta cover, right?
Can we
You
do multiple
apply.
applications?
No,
I don't know, no,
I don't think so.
we can only do one.
Yeah,
I do know if we,
I think you can maybe do multiple applications, but I don't think, they're not gonna award more than one
to an
project.
entity,
Yeah, 'cause they're trying to
Like
spread it out.
dollars.
to one entity, yeah.
I guess at this point, the one that's been applied for the most would probably be the Nighthawk one then, right? I mean, that's been applied for and turned down.
Yes, that, I know that for
That-
sure.
that-
Historically, I'm not too sure
I don't know.
if we've got any
Just
other.
looking at the odds, I guess.
And I mean, 290th needs addressed, but Nighthawk is a minefield. And you've gotta go slow through there.
Does this help the discussion at all? I've got copies of that. Can we hand that out?
Yeah. They're getting ready to do the grade patch and chip seal down from Remington to 15 this year. So they're getting something addressed there.
Is that it for me?
Yeah.
But
Thanks, Sam.
we got nothing on the map for Nighthawk.
All right.
So I would, my opinion is to stick with the Nighthawk thought.
So since we're discussing it, I'm just passing out. These are all the roads in the county that are at least 200 average daily traffic. And it's got traffic counts identified on that. Since we were talking about planning roads, you know, the question was prioritizing. If there's been a road that has blacktopped, that is under 200, I did not highlight it. But I just highlighted 200 average daily traffic count or higher in the county. Since this is a planning session, I thought maybe it kind of helped to have what the counts are on these roads and maybe help to prioritize. We're kind of in that prioritizing discussion right now. So I don't know if that's an assistance or not.
Well, that little stretch of Nighthawk that we're talking about isn't on there.
They don't have counts on it.
Isn't that part of the application though? The traffic count?
Yeah, the traffic count, you have to extrapolate and the
Yeah.
state doesn't recognize it. We've extrapolated, I think, 220. I mean, it does have that counting, from the state, however, these only record major collectors is what we call it, but they call it major arterial. These are only major arterials as defined by the state of Kansas in the county of Marion. And that 1 mile section or 3/4 mile section is not considered a major arterial by the state, so they don't count it. But a lot of the roads that we're talking about, 290th obviously is on there. I had on the list, the ones that we talked about was Nighthawk, 290th and 330th, east out of Tampa. And
East
of
out of Tampa averages right at the 200 between the two counties.
220 is what they're at. And then the 290th where we're talking is roughly 275. kind of on our forecast, you know, we're looking at Nighthawk, 330th, Tampa to Quail Creek, 290th, K15 to Remington.
Tampa Road is where I get the most complaints out of my area.
Yeah. I'm sure because you're locationally sequestered, you're going to get different input, yeah.
Well, yeah, mine, I got the same, mine is, what is it, 90th? Or no, it's 120th. That's where I get the most, so, I mean, but you gotta look at the whole county. So, I'm gonna stick with what I said earlier, stay with the thought of Nighthawk. Since you're gonna do these chip seals and other things to address the other areas that we're talking about. That's my feeling. I don't know wherever everybody else sits.
My only thought is 290th going further west, can we just mill and overlay? Maybe that holds us for 10 or 15 years to do more of that rebuild going towards Durham.
You're saying that you want it just asphalt overlay, hot mix?
Well, mill it and reel it and what would that cost over what we did on the first 4 miles?
Depends on
I
the
mean, the
asphalt.
base is pretty decent yet, and we're talking about the top cover slipping in places. I mean, that's not gonna widen it, but can we get, what would that cost to do some of them miles and maybe delay that rebuild for 10 or 15 years, however long this next,
We can definitely talk with
look at some numbers.
the engineer and find out whether that'd be an idea to kind of save us. I mean, that's something we need to find out right away, because when we get in the middle of blade patch season and we're blade patching that road, I hate to be blade patching a road that we're gonna end up milling up in the next year, you know? So,
And is there gonna be any asphalt plants around this summer?
I have not heard of any.
I've not heard.
What was it, 3-inch? It's probably gone up. 3-inch overlay was $3.80 a mile, something like that. Anyway,
I don't think we wanna mill that top layer off and recycle it or whatever they do.
As long as we don't have 9-month-old blade patch on top of it.
Well, I'm just asking,
Yeah.
just a thought if that would keep that road up and do some more of the total rebuild that's 10 or 15 years from now. If we've got other projects more concerning than what we just mentioned earlier.
What has our success rate been when we've done those mill and overlays in the past? I mean, how many, like, you think you're gonna get a long time out of them, but how long have we actually been getting, do you know, like?
D&L Road has stood up pretty well for over 25 years, am I correct, Steve?
Yes, especially the amount of heavy traffic that gets on that. I mean, there's way overweighted trucks. So, yeah, I mean, it's really holding up really well. For not even being a state highway and turned over to a county road like 190th is, it's held up well. So,
I don't know what that project cost when they did that or to the extent, but that didn't widen it or anything, but I think the base is pretty durable through the rest of that stretch as opposed to other roads.
yeah.
What is it, 13-mile road out of Hillsborough Indigo, is that what it is? Was that, some of that was milled and relayed when they did that, am I correct or not?
There was actually some base work done
As they went, I know.
I think it was from like 100 south.
3-mile stretch.
Last 2 or 3 miles had a lot of
They did base work on that,
We opted to go the extra mile on that, literally,
yes.
because that was sinking and swagging, and And so we did a 12-inch full depth, and then we did a 3-inch overlay there, and the rest of it got 2-inch. And it's held up, in my opinion.
There's only 2 or 3 places that they have, I think, repaired to any extent, and has it been 4 or 5 years since that project?
We did the bond in 2020,
Time.
so it would have been 2021, 5 years maybe, 2021, 2022.
We haven't seen any catastrophic failure in the first 4 or 5 years yet.
There's one little spot that had to be readdressed, but that was it.
We
Just in
are,
the one lane, I believe.
It's on the northbound lane.
we are projected next year to either chip seal that section of road on Indigo or crack seal. I think we'd get more bang for our buck if we just went ahead and chip seal. The reason why there's a lot of lateral cracks going across there, and we need to get those sealed up before we get any kind of moisture down in there. Then we'll have base problems again, so that's something to schedule for next year that we can look at.
I know we're not supposed to have any decisions, but can have a consensus here. I just wanna go back to the Nighthawk thing, just so that there's some formal guidance, so they're not left in limbo. Is everybody, is it solid opposition to the Nighthawk applying for that one?
I mean, it's a major road.
Everybody else sits.
Yeah, we need to apply for that one, cause that one's. Like I said, if we don't get it, go ahead and fix it. Hopefully be done with it for.
Shook your head,
He's
yes.
thinking. You good?
But I just think there's gonna have to be a whole lot of work done there to get the water out of that.
Our bond was in 2022.
Okay. So it would have been done in 2022 or 2023.
That's gonna be the most expensive mile we've ever done.
Yeah, it's what.
To get it right.
It's 980?
If we buy all our own material, if we buy material out, if we can use some of our borrow piles up by Lost Springs, I think it's more like 690.
Okay.
7.
You're right though. Maybe the 3 miles on Indigo would compare to it, where we did the full depth and the 3-inch. It'd be getting closer to that dollar amount.
Actually, EBH has got a quote of $474 at $800.
Oh.
If we use our own.
If we use our crushed concrete.
That's with the GeoGrid.
Yes. Oh, well, let's see here. I believe so, yes.
What's the total if we bring in all the fill?
If we bring it all in, it's $578. So,
Better.
I would think,
I'm glad I'm wrong.
one thing I'd like to do this year, whether it's on the East Tampa Road or 290th at some time, even Nighthawk project, I'd like to try to get rid of that crushed concrete that's up at by Lincolnville. We've used it for base rock and some of our gravel rebuilds, and because of the metals and that, it's starting to pop up and it's causing us more problems than anything else. So it is good material, but I think we need to be very selective of where we want to put it.
It needs to go underneath a solid surface.
Yes. We can use it for base rock and it'll be really good, but again, as far as gravel rebuilds, we will not use that crushed concrete. So, anyway.
I have kind of an off-the-wall question. We've got that nuisance property down at Limestone and 120th. There is a huge pile of concrete in there. Is that something we can get work with that landowner and get somebody to come in and crush that and haul that out for us.
If they'd answer.
Yeah, I think
The
that's the
Lancer.
landowner we haven't been able to get a hold of.
Yeah, ever since Danny King died, it's been impossible to establish communications with them.
And I'm wondering if there is legal action taken on it, if then we have to go in and clean it up, if we could potentially utilize items that are on the property.
That is a good thought though, because that, something's happening. Something's gotta happen there.
So I guess that I can.
Something to put in the back of our mind. I mean, that's a huge flipping pile of concrete in there. It's growing. It's not gonna be an easy project, but if we have to do something, we might as well get some benefit out of it.
If we gotta pay to clean it up, might as well reclaim as much value as we can.
I will I've made a note to include that in a question for legal counsel.
And like I
If
said,
we can ever get that property back, we ought to be able to apply for that KDHE cleanup. So, yeah. Big thing is getting it back.
I should have talked to him the other night when he was out there, when I was out there.
You caught somebody out there?
He was putting up posted signs, no trespassing signs after the fourth time the sheriff had been out there running people off. Landowners have been.
Well, maybe they have, so has the owner been the one calling about it? Oh, okay.
No, it's been the neighbors taking people out there and they spill over onto everybody else's property then when they're down there.
Yeah, it's causing a problem for everybody out there.
Yeah, it's causing problems for everybody, but like I say, there's a huge pile of concrete out there that if we have to do something, we need to try and take advantage of that. There's a lot of, well, I'm sure there's a lot of metal in that stuff too, but it might be an option to.
Might establish a communication line with somebody too, if you'd offer to give them something for it.
Or clean it up for them, and
That's one less thing they gotta manage or deal with.
one less thing they've gotta deal with.
Maybe they wanna donate it to the land bank.
Well, I think even on a smaller note, Cody said something about maybe we could see if the pile they're getting down there, whether that benefited the county to have somebody come crush it for our needs too or something. I guess Justin would have as much to say about it as anybody, so.
Well, we've developed a pretty good pile at the south shop, crushed concrete culverts.
Their capital is still crushing out there in Days County.
Kind of waiting to see what happens with Justin out here when he occasionally pulls in somebody to crush stuff up, so.
Their capital's who moved in and crushed it this last time, and they're working in the area some, or their unit is pretty mobile.
I mean, it's good stuff, and boy, when you
It's screened
you
out.
don't have anybody that uses magnets and stuff, it creates quite a problem.
When they crushed some of that, it was so wet, that complicated, or enough dirt in it that it really made it hard to separate when they crushed it or screened it.
Does McPherson County have their own crusher?
I couldn't answer
They
that.
got their own asphalt plant.
Well, they got that, yeah, but a few years ago, they did nothing but put crushed concrete on a county road out there just outside the county. That's all they used.
Yeah, I got feedback
And so
on
I'm
that.
thinking, gosh, they must have had that clean.
No, I got feedback on that. I had people tell me when we started doing it that's the worst thing that ever happened and don't ever do that.
Okay.
Good enough.
You know, I just thought, well, that's unusual. They're just spreading it on there.
I don't know what that one brought, but one sold on an auction. We used setup, screener and crusher here just since the first of the year. Don't remember what it brought. I mean, Gary even looked at whether it was worth all the concrete that they've dug up, whether it was something they ought to buy and crush that for their own use at the feedlot. I know he didn't act on it.
Wear and tear, and is it better just to
Staff to run it
Yeah.
and run it without tearing something up.
it's better to contract it. What else you guys got? Nothing?
That's the plan, Stan.
That's the plan?
I think the goal was for, you know, them to bring kind of their basic plan and outline, and then also see what priorities the commission has. And can work some more on it.
Every road's important.
Yeah. And Steve's still using his best judgment on which roads are already crowned, already have ditches, and doing a cap overlay on them so we don't have to rebuild those. So, seeing that go on.
I think we have to rely on Steve's expertise on that, cause we can drive roads all day long and we'll cover half of them.
Yeah.
One thing to just be considering, I mean, it's not popular, so, but I'm just going to say it. So we have a lot of asphalt roads. And at some point, as prices go up, the board might need to consider which ones stay asphalt and which ones don't. And setting a standard, utilizing the traffic counts to set a minimum standard might be a useful thing to think about, so. Cause, you know, it's nice to have, like, it's better to have a really nice gravel road than a crappy, dangerous asphalt road to travel, so.
How you really feel?
Well, I mean, I'm just being realistic,
I get it.
so
Yeah,
I would love it if we could have all asphalt roads.
right. Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Well, in 1970, we had probably of course, the records go back that far, but we had at least 50 or 60, no, we had more than that, miles of blacktop than we have now.
Oh, yeah.
Diamond was all.
Since I've been here, I remember, we've ground up quite a few miles already this year, or in the past.
There's still a few
to
people
turn it
that
into
have
gravel.
hard feelings from 1970 when they ground up Diamond.
Yeah.
So I'm not making any kind of a recommendation, but just something for you all to be thinking about. You know, how much you're gonna put into those miles with the lower traffic counts. So.
The other thing is sometimes we just look stuff on the surface as what does it cost per mile for the asphalt, but then we don't think about, okay, we start getting rid of enough asphalt. Now you've created basically another section man and another piece of equipment and maintaining, because you've wound up with that much more gravel. What does that cost? So you always have to weigh that too, rather than just be like, oh, this is too expensive, let's get rid of it. And now all of a sudden we just trapped ourselves for eternity with a whole nother ongoing expense.
Well, the maintenance of a gravel road has gotten fairly expensive on its own at this point with rock costs, and transportation costs. $500,000 motor graders.
Right. That's where I'm coming from. There's a lot of other costs where everybody's like, oh, it's just too expensive to asphalt. Well, it's still expensive to have gravel too, so.
Well, they commented one time I knew what the road east of Lincolnville was before the feedlot, and this is what was blacktop. One of the last years before they ground that up, or I even helped on that road when we tore it up 40-some years ago, that was better than, I broke the front spring shackle on a 2-ton grain truck from hitting one that was this big around and this deep. You just don't bring many front spring shackles. They broke it clear off, not just.
Ever been a cost?
And we were almost happy that they tore it up.
Today's the day to bring it up.
Ever been a cost benefit analysis to, as far as maintenance of a blacktop road and maintenance of a rock road over the same period of time? Based on average amount of rock used. You know, some years you're gonna use twice as much rock. Maybe another year you'd use half as much rock.
The
It
traffic,
had to be over a period of,
10 years.
well, I don't know, yeah, several years, but you know.
Asphalt road, you hope to get 9 years.
Love that one.
30 to 4, I'm digging this.
I'd have to call an expert in on that one.
Oh, no, he'll take care of it.
And I think that
Cost benefit
you really
analysis.
need to look at 30 years probably, because, you know, like we've just been talking, that blacktop roads held up for 20 years, you know, it's been doing pretty good. Well, 5-year analysis ain't gonna do any good, but if we look over 30 years and getting all the costs, like, you know, capital equipment that's necessary that the county needs to own because we have additional maintenance on,
when we get back to your gravel roads, your not only traffic count, but the type of traffic
Wait.
using it.
Full liability too, not just wages. You
Well-
gotta look at healthcare, you gotta look at retirement, you gotta look at all that.
That'll change that.
You can use a percentage for factor up around it.
all right, thank you.
30 years ago, there wasn't anything but 2-ton trucks. Now it's all semis.
Right.
And they're less invasive than the 2-ton trucks, in my opinion, because of how many loads it took to move the same bushels of grain. And what we gotta figure is now, we raise 60 or 70% more per acre with continuous rotation and the hybrids and the chemicals. If my grandpa only knew I raised 85.3 bushel average wheat crop 2 years ago on 600 and some acres, he would roll over in his grave. His probably best wheat crop was less than 20. In his entire lifetime of farming out there.
So yeah, the traffic count has increased just to make those.
But if you take the
Yields.
bushels that we raise, if you hauled that with a 3/4 ton pickup with 70 bushel at a time, that would devastate the road more than any semi running, even with 900 or 1,000 bushels on, because it's one time over as opposed to 10 or 12 ruts that are just as devastating. The pressure per square inch of your tire size. Nothing's the same as it was when my grandpa's.
Do you guys have any plans for any, you got gravel, any plans for dirt road rebuilds or anything?
We kind of do that as it develops, as far as not disrupting anything else that's going on. Like for instance, right now, Fred, well, I shouldn't mention any names, the gentleman down south is doing some rebuilds on his own. Unfortunately, the scraper keeps breaking down and holding him up on it, but he's doing almost 2.5 miles of gravel rebuilds, just removing false shoulders. So he's taking that upon himself to do that. That's not even included in what our rebuilds are. And so, you know, with him doing that, we're going to supply him with gray rock and make sure it takes care of it, you know, since he's doing that. There's people, I know, for instance, yesterday we were up on 280th between Chisholm Trail and Diamond. There was a spring that always runs down on the south ditch, and we were up there cleaning that up. While we were doing that, the section man built the road up and crowned it up really good. So, yeah, the dirt roads, another one that's going to have to be rebuilt is our little trouble spot that we developed yesterday afternoon.
See the whole.
So, anyway, yeah, and out there is just gonna, we'll have to import some big rock and fill it in and reestablish the ditches again. So, yeah, I mean, dirt roads, yeah, we're,
Weather permitting is the biggest issue
Yes.
with that. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't want to do it during wheat harvest some weeks, you know, there's a week or two where the blunt of wheat harvest, and we don't want to disrupt a road that may be used fairly heavily right at that moment.
right. I
An
mean,
early spring rebuild, a lot of times is some shorter distances. Back from my day is if we had a half a mile or something that silted in or something, we'd rip that up. If the weather permitted, I mean, it's
Am
got,
I accurate in saying when we replace or repair a culvert, there's also substantial ditch work in a limited area, that the road does get attention then also to try to, when we get a new culvert in, we want the road and everything else to work well with the drainage issues. And so we do see, you know, at least, we're not doing a whole mile of it, but pretty much anytime you do a culvert, you can pretty much guess
You gotta work on
200,
something.
300 foot, you know, is gonna be kind of reestablished again. And there's a lot of culverts going on.
well, even in my day, some of our roads was addressed if they had adequate culvert money to work on a certain road that required multiple culverts replacement or something, or just taking them out and resetting them along with that.
I mean, there's a lot of additional costs on rebuilds as well, because we definitely want to improve the drainage, and most of the time we increase the diameter size of the culverts. So we'll replace the old broken ones, the concrete ones, put in wider, longer ones, plus more of a diameter to allow more flow line through there. So, yeah, I mean,
Culvert
a lot of
costs still, you may delay a certain mile till, depending on how much money, culvert money is how it was kind of addressed then. Or for complete replacement.
Slapping a lot of culverts in. You guys really did a lot. It's pretty amazing if you actually drive around out there and see how many new culverts are out. It's really trying to work with the flow instead of rebuilding miles to make it go somewhere nature doesn't want it to go.
Well, Steve and I know where we got one that we're gonna have to put a bigger one in, I think.
Yeah. We're waiting for that to happen.
You guys looked ahead to 27, 28, 29.
Other than the Indigo project, as far as chip seal goes, I guess it all depends on what we get done this year as far as next year, or this 27. So, I mean, it's still kind of on a rotation as far as the blacktop roads goes. I mean, we were down south, now we're up north. The following year will be in the middle. So, and then we'll just keep on that rotation.
I just know on 290th, you know, that Yurok Bridge, if there's any way we could get that replaced, how that's done, even if there's another one, would be beneficial, because that would take, I think, a little bit of restructuring how it comes through there, where that bridge could almost be built with the end walls at an angle or something to improve the flow through there, which would be more harder to form up and pour, but it still might be beneficial to the flow over the next several years, looking at that.
I think that bridge need to be lengthened and higher. If it ever did get addressed, because, you know, that's a dip through there, right?
Well, it kind of comes right up to it and then angles across at a pretty severe rate.
And you still got a narrow bridge on Indigo going south of Hillsborough there too, right at the 160th intersection there. That's a real narrow bridge. It's an old concrete one, but it's that's another one to look at too. So, those are still rated in fair to good shape. So, I mean, yeah.
I know a guy there that tries to help you keep your.
Well, like we said in the past, all we can do is work at it and do our best. Mother Nature creates issues that we can't control.
Yeah, 2 days ago, we
deal
were
with
getting
it.
ready to plow out because we thought we were gonna be getting 4 to 5 inches of snow on Sunday, and then all of a sudden, we're just getting rain. Okay, well, that's even better, so.
Well, what about this weekend?
Yeah,
If it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Right.
You know, we're doing more and more with NRCS. How's that relationship?
Good.
I hear nothing but complaints. from the public, NRCS.
About NRCS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially
That's
with
not our
stream
issue.
bank stabilization programs. Even now, if you have a terrace rebuild that has any cost share at all, if any artifact is unearthed, it stops the program right there. Even on a terrace rebuild. So I'm a little concerned about our out there goldenrod.
NRCS is actually, they have to report to 5 or 6 different agencies. And one of those is the Kansas National, or the Kansas Historical Society. Those are the guys that can get very concerned about the shape of a rock in a pile of dirt. So, but it's covered, and there's also a tribal relations group that is consulted on whenever you spade stuff over, so. As far as NRCS, we are actually meeting with them today at 1, hopefully. And we'll be getting finalized plans for the stream bank stabilization.
There's a lot of people, because that is such a historic area right there.
Well, they're saying at this point that the initial review is looking good. So once we get these final plans done, we will submit for permits and we'll find out.
It's about like all I thought I had to do was deal with KDHE on my feedlot to find out there was 5 other permits besides theirs, and 9 government agencies had to sign off on them all before it was over. It took 2.5 years to get the plan approved to start building it. Wish I never would have almost anymore.
Is that it, guys?
Thanks.
Okay.
How's your labor force? Pretty full employees?
At this point, we still got room for, three full-time as well as 4 part-time, but at this time of year,
Don't need them.
don't really need them. Definitely the springtime, once we start getting going on, the blacktop projects and all that, we'll be looking for seasonal help as well as some additional help. We do have people applying,
Anybody that would come back from last year that you were happy with?
come back from that, oh, you mean part-time?
Yeah.
Yes, the gentleman that mows for us, this will be his 3rd year coming back to us.
That helps.
Oh, yeah.
Immensely, once they know where to go and they take care of things or have a little guide. Not need as much guidance, I guess, maybe.
So, we still light on it, but again, this time of year, it's kind of,
Don't need them, yes.
save a little money there. So. All right.
I have had one complaint. There's a mattress on Indigo that you're been mowed over twice now, I think.
Okay.
And I know I've seen mattresses on a couple dirt roads around the county too, and
They don't wanna pay for them.
The transfer station also,
Yeah.
things like that too.
And I don't know if that's something we can address. I know the one on Indigo has been there for at least 2 years now.
If you guys ever see things like that, call me.
Okay.
If you don't mind, so that we can get them taken care of.
I've noticed since we put in that charge, I've seen a few.
Well, you need to call it in dirt quickly, especially when you see it, because
So we know where it is and.
well, on top of that, it's like the illegal dumping of trash. The longer it sits out there, everything degrades, and there's less likely ability to figure out where it came from. So
In
the
regards.
sheriff can write a ticket if there is any
I'll
evidence.
sort through there for a name and number.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like if they don't get picked up, then maybe somebody else will be like, hey, well, they dumped their mattress and it's still there, so I'm gonna do the same thing.
Oh, yeah, it's with them charging $20 a mattress, it's gonna continue to be an issue. And
Same thing we had with tires for a while.
I would just ask that your guys, when they're they see it.
Do you know the closest, numbered street?
Well, it's south of me a couple miles. I think it's between 90th and 100th.
Tom did say we maybe missed a pretty good use.
They finally find a dirt road.
Yeah, and I just asked your section man if they see them,
And I guess if it's a John Deere.
you know, just
Could read it.
because the longer they sit there, the harder they are to clean up too. And I know that the one on Indigo has been mowed over twice.
Yeah.
Well, it should be gone by now.
It's a mess.
Although I have seen a few places where they're not illegally dumping, but the box springs. No mattresses, just a box spring. And they get put in like drainage ways. And then after it floods and it rains, then you see people out there picking up all the car that get stuck. So it might be a fishing tactic.
Go out by Meridian. You go on 290th all the way, well, it's between Meridian, what's the north-south road? First north-south road back in. Right on the Cottonwood. That guy's got, I think he's got a couch and a recliner.
Alamo.
Might be.
No.
Might be. It's a low maintenance road. I think they grade it once a year.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Anybody have anything else? Comments?
I'll pull up my KAC notes for next week, or it's a lot of bills. It's a mess.
There's a lot going on, speaking of.
Yeah.
If we're already adjourned.
Yeah.
You wanna adjourn the work session?
Okay.
You don't have to do a motion and a vote, you can just,
Adjourn the work session, February 27th.
I need to get to the bathroom.
All in favor?
No, we don't have to vote. You can just declare it.
so it be it.
There you go.
So be it.